Good morning. Sorry, still working out how to use this thing. Anyway, good morning, universe. May we all be peaceful today. Today, I thought I would remind myself and anyone else that is interested in this amazing concept of flipping the switch. So a few years ago, when I was having a really tough time, I got to know a lovely, wonderful lady at my son's school called Leslie Bamford. Anyway, she is American and she is really involved with an organization called Why Try. And they are just, it's a fantastic concept. And I don't think there's anything quite like it in the UK. But they basically have resilience skills training programs, which are taught in American schools at curriculum level. And they're also, I think they're taught in pretty much all American public schools, which is the equivalent to the UK state schools. And basically it's skills training for young kids at sort of not kindergarten level, but, up to about 12, 13. And anyway, the guy behind the program is called Christian Moore, or one of the chaps, and the others is called Hans, who I've met. Hans is super too. But Hans realised that the resilience skills training program, Why Try, that they'd written for children, there was loads of it that was really valid for adults as well. And he wrote a book called The Resilience Breakthrough. I think this was published about 2 years ago now. Anyway, I read it and I was really blown away by it. Christian's story is fantastic. I would suggest looking him up on YouTube, Christian Moore. He's a really great orator. And he's got a really interesting personal story. But basically, he boils resilience down to the idea that some people have the ability to turn adversity into fuel for success and others don't. Or at least they're not shown or taught, or they're not availed of the skills through which they can find the strength and the sort of wherewithal to turn that adversity into fuel for success. So I just wanted to read a little bit here, as examples of people that had taken the situation where they've had adversity and then turned it into, how two different people could react to different situations. So he says here, as someone who has experienced plenty of life's hardships and has worked with others who are dealing with intense challenges, I understand that the most of us are experiencing pain from something in life. It's unavoidable. How we handle our pain is what makes the difference. The following examples show pairs of people facing comparable circumstances who handle their pain in different ways. As you read each example, think about how you would respond if placed in a similar situation. So 2 people are in a difficult marriage that requires a lot of work and attention. A combination of financial problems and the stress of raising children has taken a toll on their relationship. I can relate to that one. One wishes to seek solutions through marriage counselling, while the other is ready to give up and thinks divorce is the easy way out. 2 individuals struggling with addiction, and despite numerous attempts to turn from this lifestyle, each has failed many times to attain long-term sobriety. In spite of seemingly overwhelming compulsions, one individual continues his or her efforts to overcome daily desire to use, while the other decides recovery isn't possible and continues to spiral. 2 kids grow up in the same neighbourhood with poverty, abuse and discrimination. One child works hard to overcome his circumstances and eventually makes it out to live a productive life. The other succumbs to a difficult existence and continues the same cycle of violence he has always known. And then Christian says, what made the difference for those who overcame the circumstances in all these examples? Answering this question became my life's work, and I believe I've done it. The answer is resilience, the ability to use adversity as fuel. Anyway, that's what I'm musing on today. And I think some people probably naturally are quite resilient. But I think we all have the ability to find our own path to resilience. And sometimes it just takes the right angel at the right time to open up that pathway for an individual. And I think I've been really lucky when I was having a tough time when I met Leslie, and I'd been sort of looking at lots of different routes of personal evolvement, if that's a word. And what she talked about with the Resilience Breakthrough and the Why Try program really, really resonated with me. And I have my own sort of ways of flipping the switch, my own personal ways. But certainly for me, doing this morning check-in on a regular basis is actually part of me flipping the switch. Because as I posted at the weekend, I've been struggling a bit with my recurring depression, and I've been in a bit of a bad place for the last couple of months. So my commitment to the group and myself of checking in every morning at 6:30, and it's now, I think I've been talking for 6 minutes, is part of my own personal attempt to flip the switch. Because, as I've said before, it's easy to sort of, when you're feeling rubbish and self-doubt is creeping in, and you're kind of losing proportion in terms of when things are going wrong, it's really easy to kind of internalize that or to retreat into a safer space, inverted commas. Anyway, part of my flipping the switch is to implement this kind of regular check-in at 6:30 in the Goddess group, and just to start being positive, trying to be proactively positive on a daily basis. And that is the start for me. So we'll see where I am in 30 days, and see where where this morning motivation thing is going. To be honest, it doesn't really bother me if nobody else listens. If people do listen and this helps them, then I'm really grateful for their time. If they don't, then I'm just grateful that the universe is listening. Anyway, may we all find the resources to flip the switch today and have a super productive, purposeful, intentional, fabulous day. A bientôt.